The most important part of reinventing yourself is reinventing yourself in a way that glorifies the name of the Lord. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time since I last said that. I think I dropped a video in July. We are now in September, going towards the end of September, going into October. I had to take a step back to re-evaluate what I am doing to make sure that it's still in alignment to the will of God, because at the end of the day, everything that I'm doing, especially on this platform, is for the glory of God. But I'm back. I promise I am back with consistency, with content, and so much more. Today's video is going to be very simple. I'm going to be talking about reinventing yourself with Christ. So as we are approaching the end of the year, I know so many of you have had goals that you've put forward, and let's be honest, you have not been able to tick all the goals off the checklist. But it's okay, you still have a bit of time. God is still in control. Although it may seem like, okay, we are now coming towards October, I still have not been able to achieve all the things that I said I would achieve from January. It's fine. You still have a chance. The very fact that you are still alive with breath in your lungs means that your story is not finished yet. So even if you have not been able to attain all the goals that you put forward for this year, have no fear, because you will eventually take all the goals on your list, even if it isn't in this year. So reinventing yourself. Now there's reinventing yourself, then there's reinventing yourself with Christ. Now if we're going to go biblical, let us talk about Romans chapter 12 verse 2, where it talks about the transformation of the mind, renewing of the mind. That is where reinventing yourself starts from. It starts from the mind. Changing the way you dress, changing the way you speak, changing the way you carry yourself is the littlest of things when it comes to reinventing yourself. The most important part of reinventing yourself is reinventing yourself in a way that glorifies the name of the Lord. Changing the mind, because your mind controls every single aspect of you. You cannot become your best self unless you've renewed your mind, unless you've put to death completely the old person that you used to be before you knew Christ and take up that new individual. Changing habits, unlearning habits, learning more about yourself with God, reinventing your life completely. So how do we even begin the journey of reinventing our life? First and foremost, it starts with addressing particular trauma, addressing areas of unforgiveness, addressing areas in your life that limits you. Negative things need to be addressed. You cannot reinvent yourself having not dealt with traumas, dealt with negative habits. You need to deal with all of these things before you are able to become the best version of yourself in God. The beautiful thing about this journey is that you do not have to do it alone. You do it with God. That is why it's called reinventing yourself with Christ, and not just reinventing yourself by yourself. If we want to reinvent ourselves with Christ, the first prayer point is, Lord, expose every single area that does not glorify your name. Every area of trauma, I pray that you will expose it to me. Every place in my life that I have literally swept rubbish underneath a rag, it is time for me to address those areas. Every baggage that I've been carrying all these years that are so heavy, Lord, I am casting my burdens onto you. It is time for you to open me up and transform me. Those are the type of prayers that you pray when you are trying to reinvent yourself with Christ. Reinventing yourself, people say, oh, it's all about, manifesting great things. And don't get me wrong, manifest those great things because you are worthy of it. You deserve to be great. You deserve beautiful things. You deserve great things. But what's the point of getting all of those things and still carrying burdens from the past, still carrying baggage from the past? So the first area that you need to address when it comes to reinventing yourself in Christ is your mind, because your mind controls everything. The first thing that the enemy often attacks is our mind. Once we have our mind under control, then every aspect of our lives will start to align in the way that God sees fit, because he's dealt with the deep-rooted issues within us that are limiting us and stopping us from becoming who he's called us to be, from becoming the best version of ourselves. Reinventing yourself with Christ. Unforgiveness. There are many things that people do to offend us, and some people will never come back to apologize. When it comes to forgiveness, we forgive for the sake of our sanity. We forgive for the sake of our peace of mind, for us to be able to move on. And don't get me wrong, forgiveness is hard, especially when the person that caused you all that trauma and pain has not even apologized for it. But you need to place this in your mind. You are forgiving that person, not for the person to go scot-free, because one way or another, what goes around always comes around. It is for your peace. It is for you to be able to move on to greater things, bigger things, without holding yourself back thinking about what may have happened yesterday or the day before. It happened, but it's time for you to forgive and move on. Forgiving and forgetting is hard, but the first step is forgiving. Once you are able to forgive, forgetting is something that you can work on with God. So many things are hardly forgotten. It is easier said than done, because imagine you've dealt with all that trauma all these years, and now someone's telling you to pack it up, forgive the person and move on. The person that sexually abused me, the person that emotionally abused me, the person that physically abused me, you want me to forgive that person? Yes, my dear, I do. Forgive them. It is time for you to let it go. It's painful, I know. I cannot discredit your pain, because trust and believe, I know that it's painful. But for the sake of your peace and freedom, forgive. And you don't have to do it alone. You have God on your side. Now, once we have addressed the mind, once that we have closed chapters that need to be closed with forgiveness, the next step of reinventing ourselves with Christ is the way we live our lives. So many of us live life for the sake of living, never really fully in the will of God, never really doing things that pleases God. We live day by day, carrying gifts, carrying talent, and not allowing it to manifest and exhibit itself. God did not give you those talents for you to keep your mouth shut. God did not give you that talent for you to stay still and just go day by day. God gave you those gifts to use it. Okay, how do I know I'm gifted? Let me tell you a prayer point. Father, Lord, reveal to me what you place me on this earth to do. Reveal to me the gifts and the talents that you've placed inside of me that you want me to use for your glory. We are all gifted. Whether you know it or you don't, you are gifted. And the only way that you can really tap into that gift and really make use of that gift to the glory of God is by consulting with God. Once you are able to consult with God, then the gift becomes revealed to you, and then you start to live a life of purpose, and then all things work together for the good of those who trust and love the Lord. It will work out. You will see that gift. You will use it. You will use it all. Please, when God reveals the gift to you, don't sit on it. Do not sit on it. Do not compare your gift to other people, because yes, there can be 5 people that have the most amazing singing voices, but each one of those 5 people, when they sing, it produces a certain fruit that the next person, when they sing, it don't produce the same fruit. We may be able to sing, but our singing voices do not do the same things all at once. Your singing voice provides healing. Your singing voice causes people to speak in tongues. Your singing voice is prophetic. You start to prophesy in the breath of singing songs. It is different. But the only way that you'll be able to know your gift is from consulting with God. Reinventing yourself with Christ is hard, but it is easier when you're doing it with God. You cannot reinvent yourself fully being engrossed in the things of the world, where the focus is on luxury, materialistic items. Now, don't get me wrong, that is part of the package of reinventing yourself with Christ. But that is at the very end, and that is not even the main thing. That is a bonus. When you get your peace of mind, you get your freedom, there you can live life to the fullest, no longer trying to survive, no longer trying to do things and by society's ways of what is accepted and what is not accepted. You free yourselves from those shackles of society, because you know one thing that pulls children of God down? Their focus of trying to fit into what society says is right, disregarding what the Bible has said, what God's truth is, and living by that. Society's way and standards of life change every single day. One day something is accepted, the next day is rejected. If you're going to continue to live like that, you will never ever become your full potential. You will always be limited, because you will always have that mindset that you're not good enough. You will always have that mindset you're not beautiful enough, you don't dress well enough. But you know what? When you're reinventing your life with Christ, it doesn't matter what the outside world says, because your focus is not them. You're not doing this for their approval. You're doing it for the glory of God. You're doing it so your life is aligned to the will of God. You're not doing it so that it suits everybody, so that, you know, everyone can applaud you. Listen, this journey of reinvention is not for the approval of man, but simply for the glory of God. Reinventing your life with Christ. Start with Christ. Don't try to do it alone. Let your prayer points be specific and focused. Lord, reveal yourself to me. Lord, expose every single area of my life that does not glorify your name. God, speak, and I'm ready to listen. God, move, because I'm ready to follow. God, have your way in my life. I no longer want to do things my way but your way. Reinventing your life with Christ is not easy, but it's definitely worthwhile, because the outcome of it is a beautiful thing. It is absolutely out of this world, because there is nothing that God does that is mediocre. God is an extravaganza God. He likes to do things big. So trust and believe that reinvention that will come from Christ is not going to be any small thing. It is going to be a magnificent transformation that all those around you will be astonished. Wow, is this really you? And you'll be like, yes, it is me. How did you do it? It was by the glory of God. God bless you, beloveds. God is not done with you yet. God will never fail you. No matter how many times we fail God, He will never fail us. Reinvent yourself, but with Christ. And trust me, those effects are going to be long lasting. You'll reach way beyond your potential. Trust and believe that. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that you were blessed by today's message. And if you're reinventing yourself with Christ, trust me, you are about to become the best you that you've ever been. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, evening, morning, night, whatever time you decide to watch this. And don't worry guys, the girl is here to stay. I'm now going to keep consistently uploading as much content as possible. We are no longer going to be doing this inconsistency of dropping one video 1 month and then the next month you don't hear from us at all, because where's the growth in that? Anyways guys, God bless you, and God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.